Welcome back, folks. Alright, we just did an awesome round of training, and folks, the island of Solsteim is now open to you. But before we dive right in, there's some things that really, require careful consideration here, so I'm going to walk you guys through some of these sticky spots, especially where the game can get super glitchy. So, for now, I would try to, if it's your first playthrough, I would try to resist the temptation to go here or go there. For right now, what I'm really focused on, continuing with our theme of getting, more beefy character and more damage attack power output. So that being said, right now I'm just kind of focused on going over here to the giant mushroom. We just finished the tower, we just got our strong bow, so guys, I'm just going to kind of follow the shoreline. Reason being is because there's a couple of things over there that I really want. And, a couple of conjuring spells. There's also a conjuring trainer there. I don't believe I have any soul gems for her. Nope. So yeah, you're gonna see random spawns all over the place in this area. It can be anything. It can be Spriggans, it can be mages, it can be pirates, it can be madmen, it can just literally be anything. But one thing I wanted to point out in particular is a lurker. That's a new enemy that we have not seen in our game yet. And guys, never fear, the weaponry we have now, it'll handle it. But be aware, it's going to spawn right around here somewhere, and sometimes it'll, actually be engaged in combat with something else. But it's this great, big, tarry, slimy-looking thing. It's pretty unmistakable that you're dealing with a lurker. So yeah, the Heartstones, folks, when we get this spell tome that I'm going after, you're going to need Heartstones, lots of them. And boy, do I go through my Heartstones when I've got that cast. So that's going to be the Garden, or Ash Guardian something. Ash, yeah, I think that's right, Ash Guardian. Alright, so again, feel free to kill your Netch or whatever you need. And there should also be a couple of Spriggans around here. Now, I kind of came through here just to see what was going on. And I reloaded the save, but now it looks like nothing is spawning. So the Spriggans are gone, the lurker's gone, so just be aware there's probably going to be some more bad boy trouble around here. Alright, so folks, welcome to the giant mushroom. Okay, there are some new collectibles here. Take the time to get this moss. Now, I already collected a few. Once again, they're not respawned. I don't understand that. That's kind of making me wonder what's going on with that department. But, so yeah, we got the stone over there. And this is all part of questline stuff, so feel free to go ahead and approach the stone. Don't engage any of these in combat, by the way. When you're, doing your searching and stuff around the island and you run into these, just let them go about their business. Some of them are going to be bandits, but some of them are going to be like, villagers and stuff that are trapped. So, whether they're good or bad, just don't engage them. Don't, mess up the order of things here. What we're going to eventually do is get to a part in a quest line where we have to go around and cleanse the stones, and then that will free who's ever, worshipping. And that once that happens, then of course, your villagers will be your friends, and the pirates and things of that nature, they'll just kind of stand there. They won't immediately attack you or anything. It's like they're coming out of a daze. I mean, you can kill them if you want, but, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be hostile. Okay, now you might see Neloth over here. Depending on when you come here, and that's okay. He's got some storyline for you.
And when the world shall see.
Yeah, guys, you know me and my cooking ingredients here. So Nightshade, prime cooking ingredient for some selling potions. Alright, so once you've done your free looting there at the stone. So for now, yeah, we just can't do anything with this. In fact, if you get stuck and you don't know what button to push to get out of this little trance mode that you're in, just simply move around your left joystick. Like you're going to move your character, and then that'll kind of snap them out of it. And you'll be able to, go about your business. Alright, so in addition to that, get all this Emperor Pearl Moss. That's another good ingredient for cooking stuff. And there's quite a lot of it here too, and it will respawn in time. Oh, yeah, I already collected that too, I guess. That's a Ash Creep Cluster. Grab those as well. It looks like the regular Creep Cluster, maybe just a slightly different color to it. Alright guys, so yeah, there's going to be NPCs out here. One of them should be the Steward, which I don't see her right now, which is kind of odd. She's usually running around out here. It might be too late at night for that. I'm going to pass time to see if I can get her to show up. Okay, so I just took a quick walk around to see where the Steward is. Apparently, she already advanced in the quest line for me. So this is the part where she dies, and I'm not going to go check her body out right now or anything. I don't want to mess up, you know, my game in the future for when I actually do that video. But, so yeah, that Steward should actually be back up at the giant mushroom. So anyway, she doesn't give you quests or anything. She might just approach you and give you some storyline. That's why I wanted to point her out. Alright, so in addition to her, you might also see the Alchemist. She actually lives in this very first mushroom off to the left. And I don't see her out here right now moseying around either, but she will have a quest for us. You probably remember me saying several times throughout the walkthrough, make sure you come here with 3 taproots. That's why right there. As soon as you talk to that Alchemist, she gives you that quest. And it has something to do with healing the mushroom or whatever. And that's kind of a sidetrack, and we might even do that here in this video. So for right now, guys, first things first, go ahead and talk to this Talvis character. Get through all the dialogue options as per the usual.
Master Neloth believes they...
Ask him if he's practicing a spell.
I don't need to be rude, but I need to concentrate.
You might have to talk to him again to clear that last set of dialogue option there. Alright guys, you notice that little wagon wheel looking thing on the bottom right hand side of my screen? That means there's a corrupted save file somewhere, so sometimes we can fix this without, you know, having to reload a save. So first things first, go ahead and open up your character menu, or whatever this is, the start menu, and go over to System and try to load. Now, it shouldn't work, and that's part of this glitch. And if that's the case, just go ahead and back out. Try to load again. If that still doesn't fix it at this point, push the home button on your system for the Xbox. That's the big Xbox button. And then, you know, as soon as you get into your system menu, sometimes that'll free that up. Notice the wagon wheel went away. That doesn't always work, you know, sometimes you just have to shut the game off and fire it back up, but 9 times out of 10, doing one of those 3 steps there, it usually gets that thing to knock it off. Alright folks, now that we've gotten him talked to, let's go ahead and go on upstairs into the giant mushroom here. Oh, and always save the game here before you go inside. Reason being is this gets real glitchy in here, especially when you have followers. There's an elevator system in here, and sometimes the followers will like knock you off the ledge. And if you fall off the ledge up there, you instant die. So, yeah, it's just a bad setup. And sometimes also the followers will get stuck in here. They just won't come out. So again, that's why I say save that game, just in case, you know, anything like that happens. You can just kind of go back, you know, reload, and try again. Alright, so for now, and another little safety tip here. After you push that button, don't move your character. Wait until you're on this platform on your own 2 solid feet and you're facing forward. If you try to move around before you land and you're facing forward, or you try to change views or anything, that can throw off the character, like the way the character thinks is facing, and you can actually, you know, walk right off the ledge and kill yourself that way. Alright, so that's Elevator Safety 101. So Talvis wanted to come in here and talk to Neloth, I think. Okay, so once again, get through your dialogue options.
Together we form around here. I might just
and after you get through that first set of dialogue options, he'll tell you if you make yourself useful, he'll let you access some kind of an enchanter. That comes later, guys, so don't worry about that. There's not a quest attached to that right now.
I'm hungry.
Okay, that's the Steward, by the way. So now that she's already dead, this is kind of like other game stuff. Actually, no, I can do that in this video. Why not? Since we're already talking about it. But before we get into that, one thing at a time here. He does have a store. Now, he sells staffs, which I don't really, you know, find much use for. But what I really like is the soul gems. Okay, he will train you in enchanting, but I'm up to 100 now, so he can't. I think after you hit like level 80 or 90, he cuts off his training. And again, guys, just more dialogue options at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to come back to the Varona thing. For right now, let's go ahead and go back outside. Now get yourself ready for combat, because you're going to be facing a situation that dude out there we first talked to is going to get himself into. Now that follower might get stuck. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, you can already see that Guardian is spawned in. Alright, I got my followers. We're good to go. And that will actually give you a soul gem, by the way. Okay, now he's going to approach you all frantic. You know, he wants you to kill this thing for him. Go ahead and offer to do that so you can make friends.
I'll keep Master Neloth distracted.
And this thing isn't terribly challenging, especially with the attack output we're doing right now. But if you're a little underpowered, this is probably going to be a pretty tough fight. And that attack he does, that ash attack, it makes it kind of tough to see sometimes. Now, there's never any kind of loot pile on those things, but that's what we're going to be casting here in a moment. Okay, so that's the quest we're doing right now. Talk to Talvis, destroy the Ash Guardian. Go ahead and activate that. Alright, so once you got that thing killed, go ahead and once again talk to him, and he'll give you some kind of a... a reward here.
What a relief. I can't...
And it can be anything. With any luck, it might be the spell tomb I really want. Oh yeah, so check this out. He actually gives you an option. So yeah, that Ash Guardian spell, this saves me a little bit of gold.
Alright.
Go ahead and get through your dialogue options. And this is where the game kind of tells you you've got to have that Heartstone in order to cast that sucker. And he is a follower, by the way, so in addition to, you know, conjuration training, you can actually get free training with him if he's your follower, just like we did in the very beginning of my walkthrough. And I can't remember his name, guys. Fernando or something like that. We got the free archery training because we just got back into his inventory and stole our gold back. So yeah, same type of party with him for conjuring training. Now, folks, I'm about to show you exactly why I took all that time to go, you know, training session after training session and get my conjuration up to 65. I think once you hit 50 or 60 or something like that, you can get that Ash Guardian spell. You can buy it off of him. He is a store, by the way. He is a mage vendor. Okay, so Conjure Ash Guardian. That is the one he just gave me for free, but, you know, again, it's available in the store once your conjuring is at the appropriate level. And then the one I really want, guys, Conjure Jermea Lord. I am going to recast that when I'm in combat, and you're just going to watch my conjuration skill go through the roof. So I don't need to buy conjuration training from this point forward in my game. And guys, I do have the extended anniversary edition or whatever, so some of these spell tombs just aren't going to be in your game, and that's okay. Honestly, I don't really use them anyway, so... I'll try to go through a list here. That one doesn't belong here. That's Anniversary Edition. That doesn't belong here. Nor that. All three of these elementals don't belong here. As well as that one. Quiver. I don't recall that's supposed to be here either, so that's probably Anniversary as well. Okay, and he also has soul gems. Go us. Alright guys, so yeah, once you make friends with him and take care of his problem outside, you are now open to him as follower and store.
Thank you. Keeping that matter of the
so from here we can go ahead and talk to Neloth again. Alright, so I just learned both of those spells. I'm going to cast them real quick. I've got Heartstones on me, so this really shouldn't cause a problem in here. And those are absolutely getting favorited. And actually I can go ahead and stop casting that because I don't like it anyway. That Frost Astronaut doesn't do anything for me. Alright guys, so the Ash Guardian does not count against your... Whoops. Alright, so that Ash Guardian does not count against your regular conjure. But notice, when I casted it, it did a little bit of damage in the area. So do be aware of where you're throwing that thing. Sometimes if you throw it too close to an NPC, it can, you know, trigger a fist fight. And you don't want to do that, especially around friendlies. So just keep that in mind, you know, when you are casting that. There is kind of like an initial blast radius to that. Alright, so yeah, you notice my Flame Astronaut did not despawn, that's why. It does not count as a normal conjure. So basically, I don't know if you can see that on my game, but there's like a symbol underneath it, like a rune. So it's pretty much going to stay parked there, unless, you know, it gets aggroed on an enemy or something. So it's really nice to have, it's pretty powerful in combat, and it's just another thing that the enemies have to deal with. So, you know, I'll probably cast that, my Flame Astronaut, depending on the situation, you know, and it's just really, really nice to have. And that does not mess up the followers, by the way. The follower can still cast their conjure as well. Alright, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and find Neloth. He is a slippery one. Okay, now, at some point, guys, you're going to be able to loot all this stuff, and I think that was after I made friends with Talvis. But just be aware, you know, some of this stuff is not lootable. It's going to say steal instead, and you don't want to, you know, get these guys on your bad side. So, you know, anything that highlights white, it's safe to take it. Actually, I just saw something there that highlighted steel. So yeah, I'm at that point in my game now where I can take most of this stuff for free. There's a lot of cooking ingredients here, you know, mushrooms, free potions, and there's stuff just all over the place, guys, under tables. You know, not a bad little loot spot in and of itself. Now, don't, you know, mess with this chest. I think that chest is attached to Talvis's store, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and at some point in the game, Neloth will offer, he'll say verbally, like, if you become a member of my house, it won't mean much right now. It won't mean much, but, you know, maybe we'll leave a bed and a chest for you. And guys, I have played this game 50 different ways in thousands of hours, and I cannot figure out where my bed is and where my chest is that he keeps telling me he's gonna, you know, make for me. So if anybody watching this video has any idea what I'm doing wrong, man, I'd love it if you threw me a bone on that. Alright, so getting back to Neloth, and no, I haven't seen Varona.
Well, fine.
Okay, and that will start this reluctant steward.
Cabbage stew with some canis root tea.
Okay, and that will open up some more dialogue option here, so we're going to go ahead and do that too. Alright guys, so once again, make sure your followers made it out safe and sound. Looks like I am good to go. Also, you might find a dragon attack here on occasion. That thing will just kind of like dance around the sky here, maybe land on a mushroom and, you know, shoot at you, so just be aware of that. You never know when that dragon attack is coming. Now, before I get too far away from the mushroom here, there are some more goodies on the outside. Actually, quite a few goodies. More heartstones. Alright guys, after you've gotten your heartstones, go ahead and follow this little pathway around behind the mushroom. And also keep an eye on these hexagonal or whatever they are, pentagonal structures sticking up out of the ground. That's going to kind of lead us down to another lower level. And there's some more goodies down here. But to get there, we're going to have to kind of hop down. And then go over more to the left. So we're getting real close here, right down around here somewhere. There we go. As soon as you see those heartstones, you know you have arrived. Look at that chaos damage, guys. So after your initial punches through, and you see that initial damage tick off, then you'll see, like, aftermath damage. So, bam. Okay, that didn't do much. Hold on a second. It's randomized. Okay, I'll try to demonstrate that on tougher enemies. But anyway, sometimes you'll shoot your arrow, it'll hit, knock a whole bunch of damage off, and then, like, you'll see that bar continue to go down on their health, like, thereafter. And it's like a slower moving thing. So that's the chaos damage working for you. Okay, on the second node here, you'll notice there's a knapsack right in front of you. Make sure you check that too. Okay, and last but not least, there's a Nimroot. That's pretty much it, guys. That's the giant mushroom up there, just to kind of show you on the map exactly where I'm at this point. Okay, simply warp yourself back up to the giant mushroom, and let's go find Varona. My Varona. Bum, 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 bum. I know, guys. I know. Idle hands, as they say. You should know that I usually edit out when I sing, you know, when I'm walking from one destination to another, so you're welcome. Oh, before we get out too far, just to the right of the giant mushroom here, there's a vendor. Okay, guys, this is Anniversary Edition stuff, this Nixhound business, so don't bother with it. I'm not going to do it in my game either. Maybe if I do an Anniversary Edition video, I'll cover that. But for right now, for the purposes of this video, this is the option you're looking for down here. Okay, so as soon as you get through all those dialogue options, he should open up a store to you. Okay, fire arrows again, guys. Anniversary Edition stuff here, so I'm not going to bother with it. I always, you know, spam collect all the ingredients. And then that's the item I don't want to talk about right now. So at some point, we are going to need a bunch of these, and that's for a dungeon way later on. So anytime you see that in Solsteim, absolutely take the time to grab those. And honestly, I don't know if these respawn in his store, so just as an experiment, I am going to buy it. I know I said I wasn't, but I'm kind of curious to see if that does respawn in time and I can buy another one. Alright folks, so again, there's the giant mushroom. We're just kind of heading back toward this mountain peak here, and that stone I took you guys to earlier is on our right, just to kind of give you a frame of reference where we're at. Now, earlier on you kind of saw me sneak up on a fight that was going on with all those ash spawn, and here's all their dead loot piles here. So yeah, right around here you're going to see that fight going on. So go ahead and dispatch the ash spawn like you saw me do a minute ago. So yeah, just look around until you find the body. It's not always going to be perfectly nestled right by this tree, but it should be pretty close to this tree. And as soon as you find her, go ahead and check her body, and then that will trigger the quest to kind of continue there. Now there is a loot chest around here somewhere, if memory serves. Yep, right there. Not a bad loot chest. Uh-oh. Varona must have... Oh, pickaxe. Maybe I should get the Brave Warrior medal. I mean, I could enchant it up with chaos damage, and it would probably be a pretty doggone good weapon. Alright guys, and there's one more secret loot spot. Since we're so close to it, I just can't help myself. This has nothing to do with the quest, but I'm going for it anyway. So right up at the top of this mountain, right where Varona's body was and whatnot, that little loot chest I just found, you'll see that stream of water. So, oh, check that out. Shiny. So yeah, follow that stream of water all the way back up to its source, and it's going to kind of take you up this mountain here. And you might not be able to actually walk all the way up here. You might have to spam that jump button a couple of times, but sooner or later you'll make it up. And notice I kind of linked back up with that stream now. And following the river all the way back to its source, you'll see like there's a little hidden fort in there. Pretty freaking cool. Whoever had that brainchild, man, I want to buy that guy a beer. Okay, so since I can't seem to get anyone's attention, that's okay. I'm going to show you guys a way around this, and probably a better way to do this anyway. But long story short, you cannot get through that gate from here. Excuse me, it's barred from the other side. So what I do is I do a little skillful mountain climbing here, aka, spamming the jump button. And at some point, you should be able to kind of spam your way up here. It might take some, it might take some time to get him going, but sooner or later, he'll find a sweet spot there, and you'll be able to jump your way up. Okay, and that'll put us right on top of this bad boy nest. So what I'm going to do is jump down now. And careful, it's quite a drop. So you're probably going to want to land, on that uppermost platform. And honestly, I don't think there's bad guys in here. Okay, there's not. So yeah, just, like I said, quick little loot spot there. You'd never know it was here otherwise. I guess that's just some storyline as to what he's even doing here. And there you have an East Empire Company strongbox. Alright, so from here you can just go ahead and warp back to the giant mushroom, or you can open the gate up. And there you have it, there's your followers. And since we're up here, I'm going to break left just slightly. One more quick little free lootable spot. Now there's going to be... Actually, no, stand by. This is a later video. Disregard. Speaking of the freaking devil, didn't we just get done talking about this? Go ahead and equip that bad boy and get our archery up even more. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces of clothing going into archery right now. What is that, guy broken or something? Uh-oh, he got himself stuck. I mean, that's good for us, but it makes me worry about him glitching out or something later on. But guys, look at that's an Elder Dragon, which means I just got another game bump. So very similar to Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom, where you've got, you know, reds, blues, blacks, and then silvers. You know, something similar in this game. And Dragons is a really good indicator on where your game is at in that enemy leveling system. So I think I was spawning Blood Dragons and Frost Dragons. And now I'm up to Elder. But as you can see, guys, that was a piece of cake. I didn't even break a sweat. That's the difference. That's why I say, you know, the whole name of the game here is you have to be able to outpace your own character leveling with your damage output. Alright guys, now depending on what time it is, I don't think I'll be able to talk to the alchemist right now, but I'm going to try. This will be the second quest we're here to do. Okay, there she is. Let's see if she lets me...
I don't care like this. Every type of fungus.
Oh wow, that's surprising. Normally the vendor stores close at 8 p.m., so I'm actually surprised she lets me do this right now. Now, I think once we become friends with her after we do this quest, she'll have a bigger store, and some of this stuff will be free to take if it's not already. Alright, so go ahead and give her a quick talking to, ask her about Master Neloth, what did he do? And after her little rant here, she'll give you the quest. Okay, go ahead and clear these dialogue options as per the usual. A lot of storyline in that segment. Alright guys, go ahead and exit the way we came in. Now this destination isn't super close. I'll go ahead and show you guys where we're heading here. Okay, that's pretty much done. We just got to talk to Neloth again, so I'm going to disable that just for the time being. So yeah, we got to go way the heck up here. Now guys, I got lucky in my game. This windstone, when I slept in the bed for 8 hours, that was just where it randomly spawned me in. So if you don't have that, you're going to kind of be at the mercy of... That was that quest marker we just unlocked by accident when we were getting our little treasure raid. So, you know, you'll just have to kind of follow the coastline. And that'll kind of keep you clear of any, you know, quest interference or anything like that if you just kind of follow the beach. And guys, glitch alert. Do not attempt to go into this building. It shouldn't let you in anyway right now. That comes later. We need Neloth to take us there and unlock the doors for us. So if you're wondering what this is all about, just try to stay away from there. And there's a lot of NPCs outside, so just try not to engage them as well. Try to save that entire thing until later on when the time is right. So yeah, but for now, we're just going to have to go north, guys. Just kind of follow the beach, head all the way up, and as soon as you get close to this camp, again, you know, that's later stuff, so for right now, just try to ignore that. Try to make your way, you know, over this direction, across the river, and up toward this stone. And then, you know, from there should be a softer grade up to this point, and it's actually not up high. It's down here where this water is, and I don't know if that's coming through on my channel. But there is like a river here, and that river will dead end into where we need to go. Okay, so assuming you were able to make your way here, now just to show you that soft grade I was talking about. There's that thing on my compass, by the way, that I was talking about, that camp. So yeah, just kind of follow, you know, the edge, and you see like there's a walking trail up this way, right where my cursor's pointing. So that should, you know, keep you clear from any kind of quest breakage or trouble. And guys, right around all of these stones, same type of deal. There's going to be lootables, you know. Those nightshades are always around. So do take the time to get your free lootables while you're at it. And just in case I didn't say it earlier, do not engage anybody in combat. Especially this one, guys. These villagers, they're from the Skull Village. And if you ever engage them in combat, this will absolutely hardbreak the quest later on when we're dealing with Miraak. There comes a point where the quest just won't progress. It says, talk to Stormcraig Strider, or whatever his name is. And guys, there's no way to fix that. That usually happens 9 times out of 10 because somebody was engaged in combat leading up to that point. And sometimes that can happen here at these stones. So that being said, when we come here to free this stone, we're going to have to be very, very careful that A, none of these people die, and B, that we don't accidentally plug any of them with arrows and engage them in combat. Alright, so, you know, continuing on up the walking trail here. This should take us right to where we need to go. Oh, these boars? They smart. Go ahead and grab a tusk or two. Alright, so once you come up to the river, that means you're here. Now there's going to be some Spriggans outside and one indoors. So, yeah. I don't see him. There it is. It's invisible.
Who's there?
And apparently I missed. Look at that chaos damage, guys. That's normally a pretty tough thing to kill. But that chaos damage just really knocks it out of them. Alright, folks, there's our cave entrance. Oh, and anytime you see a clam like this that looks like it's a darker color than the ones I've been harvesting thus far, always take the time to loot those. There's going to be pearls inside, sometimes small, sometimes large. But yeah, it's definitely good to get those numbers up while we're here. Okay, again, just the one. For some reason, I remember this being tougher. More Spriggans. Alright, so if your quest marker is working, it's right here in the middle of the water. Assuming you got 3 taproots on you, you should be able to go ahead and activate Headwaters, and that'll, you know, progress the quest line. Now, apparently there's only 2 Spriggans here, so I had it wrong in my head. So, you know, if you didn't bring at least 1 taproot with you, there's no way you're going to get the 3, unfortunately. Which is why I've kind of been talking about this throughout the walkthrough. So now, folks, you're in the clear. You don't need to worry about keeping 3 taproots in your inventory any longer. Okay, so if she's caught up in this whole thing, we can't do that right now. We'll have to pass some time and catch her back at her quarters. Okay, if it says, you know, no visa or whatever, that means you can't go in there. She's not home. So, apparently I haven't passed enough time. Okay, good to go.
Let me know.
So I think it's after 6 p.m. you'll be able to catch her back here. So go ahead and let her know you've soaked the 3 taproots. Now, we're not quite done yet.
I'll just keep 2 of... Take that last taproot and plant it into the wall of the withered house.
Okay, she'll send you back over to the big mushroom now.
I probably have some potions.
And now notice her store has opened up to us. Well, I was just selling some potions, guys. Check that one out. That means my health is getting up there. Ultimate does the whole thing, baby. So it starts with, like, you know, when you start getting really good potions, it goes vigorous, then it goes extreme. Once you're getting ultimate, it doesn't get much better than that. Now, there is one potion that does all 3. Magic, stamina, health, and all the way up, and I can't remember what those are called now. Potion of the freaking awesome. Lots of free goodies on her table, too. Sometimes she's, like, right in the way of this stuff, but I'm getting lucky here. I like how she talks about it's time to feed the mushrooms. It always makes me wonder, A, what mushrooms is she talking about? And B, what is she feeding them? Alright, folks, once we're back in the main mushroom here, the quest marker should take you right to this great big red bubble. Go ahead and plant the taproots. And then you are free to go back and talk to the quest giver. But before we do that, I'm going to clear that other quest, the Varona quest. Actually, we're not done with that one yet either, by the way. Go ahead and tell him Varona is dead.
Well, that's...
He'll ask you to go find a new steward.
How did she finding me?
Alright, after you get all that done and said, it's time to go to Raven Rock. Alright, before we go back to Raven Rock, I wanted to go ahead and clear that other quest. Go ahead and tell her it's planted.
Here, take
And
this.
you'll be good to
I'll sell you
go.
more if you come
Ultimate
back later.
well-being, that's what it is. So yeah, that clears all 3, guys. That'll bump your health, stamina, and magic. Okay, so now going into Raven Rock, I don't think the quest marker is going to help us here. And, you know, they kind of do that on purpose, so you just kind of have to know where you're going and who you have to talk to. And as soon as you go into the inn, don't go downstairs, look upstairs. Who we're looking for is usually this guy that's standing at this cooking spit. And if you don't see him here, he's, you know, usually roaming around the ground somewhere, but 9 times out of 10 I can find him right here.
We have all sorts of authentic...
Go ahead and ask him if he wants to be the new steward. He will say yes.
Well,
That drove. I suppose he'll... But I should...
Okay, so go ahead and tell him you found a new
You
steward.
may use my Staff Enchanter if you...
And that Staff Enchanter I mentioned earlier, we can now access that room. And there it is, guys. So notice you have a black book in here, and folks, that's bleeding into other video territory. For right now, I just kind of wanted to talk about it. There's 8 of these around Solsteim, and I'm going to walk you through those. Those are going to be, you know, good thorough videos. So for right now, if you can avoid, you know, resist the temptation, there's an order in which I want to do those in, just to kind of, you know, coincide with the storyline. Now, I don't think you can necessarily hard break anything if you do go through this now. It'll just really be out of order, and it's a really strange and unique world, so it's better if we just hold off on those for the time being. Yeah, when we really start getting into the Mirac stuff, we're really going to dive into the Black Books. Alright folks, after you gain access to said Staff Enchanter, you'll now notice in Neloth's store, you've got more options. So you need the blank or the unenchanted staff from him. It's the only place you can really get them. So, you know, if you want to do the enchanter business, you've got to kind of pay the man. And folks, one more thing I should point out is in his misc, at some point, you know, throughout the storyline, you're going to see this ash extractor. Don't buy it. He'll give it to you for free. Not only that, don't, you know, buy it or whatever and misplace it, you know, throw it down somewhere, wondering, you know, what's the ash extractor all about? We're going to need this for a quest line later on. So, you know, just for right now, it's best to just leave it in his inventory. Okay, and notice they're all kind of clumped together, so, you know, that's everything the silver staff will unlock. And then, you know, that's the destruction staff there. And then this is the steel staff, kind of, you know, the same idea. So again, I'm not sure if that's anniversary stuff going on here, or if, you know, that's always been there and you just kind of never really caught it before. But one way or another, you know, it is a way that you can make a flame astronaut staff if you ever find the need. You know, your follower loses it, or it gets shot out of their hands by a voice attack, and then, you know, you never see it again. You just never know. So a couple of heartstones and an unenchanted staff. You know, of course, your other option is you can go back to the College of Winterhold and craft your staffs down there. So, folks, yeah, with that, appreciate you guys watching. Hope that helped you all out. Until the next time, as always, best of luck and happy hunting.